So here we are going to elaborate about genetics and biotechnology and the points that you need to know, the areas that you have to focus on. Okay, so these are some of the points that you need to know. Okay, the first thing first, you have to know about, you have to explain, should be able to explain, okay, explain the concepts in genetics. Okay, you have to know the concepts in genetics. Okay, so in explaining the concepts in genetics, you have to know about the alleles. Okay, so what are alleles? You need to know. We'll look at it. Okay, don't worry. If you know, then you are safe in this area. And then you have to know about the locus. These are the concepts. Locus. Okay. Then you need to know about the genome, human genome or animal genome. Okay. Then you have to know about the DNA. You can talk about genetics without mentioning the DNA. Then you need to know about genes. You can talk about genetics minus talking about the genes. Okay. Let me put it in capital letter. Okay, so these are the concepts that you need to focus on when you are dealing with the genetics, the concepts that you need to know. Okay, so what else do you need to know? Okay, we'll look at this in detail, okay, as you're preparing for the exams. So let's look at other things that you need to know. You should be able to explain, okay? Number 2 is explain the importance, okay? You should be able to explain, okay? When you are preparing for genetics, you should be able to explain the importance of chromosomes. So, not only the importance, but you should be able to define the what? Chromosomes as well. Okay? So you have to know about chromosomes and genes. Okay? In heredity. Okay? And then we should be able to explain the okay, we should be able to explain this. We are under the concepts, okay? So you should be able to explain the mechanism of sex determination. How is it determined? X, Y, X, X, and all that. Okay. Explain the mechanism of sex determination. Okay, so the mechanism of sex determination. Okay. And then you should be able to describe, sex-linked inheritance. Okay, sex-linked inheritance, especially as in high color, in Drosophila. It is just an organism they mostly use to do the experiments, okay, under sex-linked inheritance, Drosophila, okay. And why is it that this organism is used? You have to know, okay. There is a reason why this organism is important, okay, and it is used when experimenting sex-linked inheritance, okay. And then, as in Ikarini, Drosophila. So you should be able to explain genetics, okay. Um, Genetics relevance in disputed paternity, okay, which means when you are determining who is the father, who is the legal father, okay, who is the biological father, okay. Remember, the legal father has rights over the child if the child has not been receiving the support from the biological father. Okay, so that's how it is. Also, you should be able to identify the characteristics that qualify an organism. Should be able to identify the characteristics that qualify an organism to be used that qualify to be used in a genetic experiment. Okay. For example, Drosophila, as we mentioned earlier. The other one is Neurospora. These are the two tiny organisms that they use, and I've said one of the reasons, okay? They don't take up much space, and then their life cycle is also not complicated, okay? And they bear a lot of offspring, okay? So that's how it is. So let's look at some of the things that we have talked about in detail.